Hello students, this will be the next class of FRM subject. Uh, I have explained you in my last class about the future problem. We'll do more problems on future contract only. This is another way of doing. It's a similar problem, similar sort of problem, but this is another way of doing the cost of carry. That is the future problem. If this sort of questions is being given, you need to do this sort of solution as I have shown you in my last class. You need to take the future price is equal to spot price plus cost of carry plus cost of carry returns as such. So your spot price is when it's been given, you just need to multiply with the interest rates and the number of months in a year divided by 12. The same manner carry returns also ex dividend you need to take, it has been given in the question, into 1 plus r into n divided by 12 as such. If you calculate that, you will get the future price. If you add spot price plus cash for you minus cost carry returns as such. So today I am going to show a little bit variation in this sort of problems only. This is another method, similar sort of problem. Cost of carry is equal to future price is equal to spot price into 1 plus cost price as such. Okay. Cost of carry is being expressed in terms of spot price as such, as a percentage in terms of spot price. So gross carry cost is equal to storage cost. If at all has been given, you need to take this all the expenses: storage cost, insurance cost, transportation cost, and cost of financing. Net carrying cost is nothing but gross carrying cost, the all the above minus conveyance yield. Conveyance is nothing but the benefit that arise from the ownership of an asset during the life of the future contract. So it's nothing but the benefit that arise when there is an ownership, when you have an ownership of an asset during the life of a future contract as such. So let's do one problem on this. I'll be explaining you the part. So determine the future price from the following information. Spot price of a commodity is equal to rupees 1 lakh. Storage cost is equal to 5% per annum. Insurance cost is equal to 3% per annum. Transportation cost is equal to 5% per fixed. Financing cost is 10%. Carrying period is nothing but time to expiration is being given 6 months. Use cost of carry model he is saying. So let's do this problem using that formula as such. So let's start doing this problem. The formula is, I have already given, F0 is equal to S0 into 1 plus C0. So F0 is nothing but your future price that need to be determined. Yeah, your S0 is nothing but your spot price that is being given in the question. What has been given in the question? Spot price rupees 1 lakh, and CO is nothing but your cost of carry. Cost of carry from today till time t. It's nothing but time. So that is how we need to calculate. Now in the question he has given you different interest rate, storage cost, insurance cost, transportation cost, financing cost for 6 months. So you need to use this for 6 months, all the cost, and do the valuation. Let me show you that. So now your cost of carry will be basically n has been given how many? 6 months. So n is being given 6 months. So your cost of carry, how you are going to do, you need to do 6 by 12, that is nothing but number of months in a year, into storage cost It's been given in the question. Insurance cost plus financing cost plus transportation cost. Why we are writing transportation? Because even it is for a 6 months period or a whole month period, you need to pay transportation. Fixed is being given in the question. You can check out. And the question what he has given is, whatever the number of months, maybe it would be 3 months, quarterly, half yearly, full year, you need to pay transportation cost. Fixed it is, you need to pay the entire 5% that is being given. So it is a fixed amount as such. So let's take all of them. So n by 12 as we have taken, it is nothing but 1 by 2 into 5% that has been given in the question. 5%, 3%, 10%, and transportation expenses. So if you do this, you will get the entire 9 plus 5. So it will come to 14%. So it's nothing but 0.14. Okay, I hope you all got it. So over here now, FO is nothing but here SO into 1 plus CO asset. So we got CO as 0.14. So 1 lakh into 1 plus 0.14, what we got. So over here it will be 1 lakh plus 14,000 if you do multiply with it. So 1 lakh 14,000 is the future price rupees. So therefore future price using cost of carry model is equal to 1,14,000 rupees as such. So let's take another question. Determine the future price from the following data. Spot price is equal to 17 lakhs rupees. Cost of carry is equal to 12%, and carry period is equal to 6 months as such, what he has given in the question. So let's do this problem. So here the similar formula it is future price is equal to spot price into 1 plus cost of carry. So what's been given, FO is nothing but here future price that need to be determined. SO is nothing but here spot price. CO is nothing but here carrying cost. So how much he has given you carrying cost in the question? Spot price 17 lakhs. Let's take down that rupees 17 lakhs. Right, 17 lakhs he has given. Cost of carry 12%. %12 per annum, whereas it's been given 6 months period. So carrying period is nothing but your 6 months. So how much you're going to get is similar to that what we have done in the earlier problem. First of all, you need to take the you need to calculate the cost of carry, that is nothing but CO. It's nothing but how much percent? 12% it is, right? 12 into 6 by 12, that is nothing but R into n by 12, what we have done in the earlier problem. So it will come to 0.06. Okay. So now what is FO here? SO into 1 plus CO, what we have got. So 17 lakhs into 1 plus 0.06. So it will come to how much? If you multiply this, you will get 18 lakhs 2,000 rupees as forward contract. Future contract, sorry. Future price is nothing but your 18 lakhs 2,000. Why we are done this? Because whenever he gives the carry cost something like that, and see in earlier problem also we have done, I'll just show you. Cost of carry, you have taken all the expenses into an R by 12, isn't it? So here different expenses he has not given you, only one expenditure he has given you as such. Carrying cost is 12%, so you need to do 12% into divided by 12 as such. So here also you have done, see what we have got, this we have multiplied here. So here also the same manner, what we got here we have multiplied here. So future price we got is rupees 18 lakhs 2,000. So let's do the another problem, students. This would be the next question. Calculate the cash and carry arbitrage from the following data of a future contract. Spot price is equal to 1 lakh. Cost of carry is equal to 14% of spot price for the carry period, and contracted future price is 1,20,000. Yeah. So let's do this problem. It is similar to this problem, I guess, if you check it out. 14% it is, 1 lakh spot price it is. Unless you get confused, I'll do the fresh on the fresh page only. So what's been given in the question is future price is equal to, you all are familiar, future price is equal to 1 plus spot price 1 plus cost price. So over here it's nothing but spot price plus the percentage. He has given the percentage is how much? Cost of carry. This is nothing but, you can also write it as cost of carry if you write it down. So here it will be 1 lakh. Directly he has given you the percentage, guys. You need not to calculate again 1 plus this cost and all as such. Here, because he has not given months as such, he would have given months and all, he would have calculated like that. Directly what you can do is 14% of 1 lakh. That is nothing but spot price. What he has said you in the question. It's not 1 lakh, it is 10 lakhs what I have written. So if you check out over here in the question, what he said, cost of carry is nothing but 14% of spot price for the carry period. So over here it is 14% of the spot price, that is carry period. So over here it will be 1 lakh plus 14,000. So if you can check out this, you will get future price as 1 lakh 14,000. Now what is the continuation of the question? You can check out. Calculate the cash and carry arbitrage profit from the following date of a future contract. So basically what we got, future price is 1,14,000. But in the question, the contracted price, how much he has given? 1,20,000. So the difference is nothing but the profit, isn't it? The contracted future price that has been given in the question is one lakh 20,000. No, so now he is asking us to calculate the carry and cash and carry arbitrage profit. Rupees 1,20,000 minus rupees 1,14,000. How much you are going to get it? 6,000. So actually the contracted future price is 1,20,000, but we are getting the same thing for 1,14,000. So we are getting a cash and carry arbitrage profit of 6,000. So this is what he asked us to calculate the cash and carry arbitrage from the following data. So what we have calculated is he has given you the information. I have not written that information. I'll just write it down. He has given you information regarding the spot price. Spot price rupees 1 lakh. He has given information of cost and carry. Cost of carry as 14% of spot price for the carry period. Contracted future price he has given is rupees 1,20,000. So what we have done is the further part. The question what he has given SO into 1 plus CO, that is nothing but spot price into cost of carry. 1 lakh into plus 14% of 1 lakh, you will get 1,14,000. Contracted future price is 1,20,000. Cash and carry arbitrage profit is nothing but rupees 1,20,000 minus rupees 1,14,000. You will get 6,000 as a profit as such. I hope I made it clear to all of you. So this is the another problem. Now let's check out the difference between. So these are the few problems that has been given. Now let's check out the difference between the future price and forward price. Another topic of your FRM subject. So basically let's check out the difference between the future price, another topic of your third unit. So that's where the problems, that's enough I guess. Those many problems in the for future contract, you don't have any more variations. So let's check out the difference between the forward contract and future contract. First let's check out the concept. A forward contract is an agreement between two parties to buy and sell an asset, which can be of any kind at a certain price. So two parties to buy and sell an asset means it could be financial asset, or it could be a commodity, or it could be any commodity asset. So financial asset could be share, bond, or a long term loan, something like that. Whereas commodity could be rice, gold, onion, and all what we have discussed, wheat, pepper, oats. These all are nothing but the commodities. So basically it's an agreement between two parties to buy and sell an asset at a certain future date for a certain price agreed upon now. So it's been specified at the predetermined period only in the contract. Whereas future contract is a standardized contract traded on future exchanges. So future exchanges in India, it is NSE and BSE. These are the standardized exchanges where the contract takes place to buy and sell a certain underlying instrument at a certain date in certain price as such, for a specified price. Okay, this is also similar, but here forward contract is a contract between only two parties, whereas future contract is a standardized contract which are traded on certain exchanges, and they will be willing to buy and sell certain commodities like gold, silver, rice, onion, or anything as such which takes into picture. Either it could be a financial commodity, financial asset, or a commodity asset as such. So will be traded, and they'll be willing to buy and sell. Here similar terminologies will be there: long position, short position and all. But here there will be a only risk will be there, lot of risk will be there because only two parties are there. But here the standardized contract is there, so risk will be very less. Structure: the contract is customized to the needs of the party. Okay, so basically there is no initial payment, and which is used for hedging. Customized means there will be only two parties to the contract, the buyer and the seller, so there is no need of any requirement of any payment of initial amount as such. Whereas standardized: in future contract it is standardized to the needs of the customer. Initial payment is very much required, because once the initial payment is done, then only the clearing corporation will come into picture and take over the further part as such. They are used usually for speculation as such. Method of transactions are nothing but they are directly negotiated between the buyer and the seller. Everything, the quality, quantity, the date, the delivery time, place, underlying assets and all, everything will be decided between the buyer and the seller. But whereas in future contract they will be quoted and traded on exchanges, like as I said, NSCCL. This is nothing but certain clearing corporation will be there who will be working. A buyer and seller will not be directly contacted. A third party will be there who will be acting as a representative on behalf of both the parties, and they will be doing the work. So they will be traded and quoted on exchanges as such. As I said, clearing corporation will be there. They will not be directly contracted, but they will be representing on behalf of in each other. Like buyer will be paying the amount to the clearing corporation, and seller also will be paying the will be giving the shipment of goods and all to the clearing corporation only. So it's the one who is going to work on behalf of them. So that is the reason it is a method of transaction. The other one is market regulation. Forward contracts are not regulated actually, whereas future contracts are regulated. They are have commodity future trading corporation will be there, who will be acting as market regulator, and they will be looking after all the things. Next is institutional guarantee. The contracting parties, if any one of the party fails, they will be in loss. The another party will be in a loss as such. Suppose if the buyer has not paid the amount, but he has taken the shipment, so the seller will be in a loss as such. So that's what it is. Whereas in a clearing future contract, guarantee will be given by the clearing corporation. If buyer is not paying the amount, so it is the one who is going to pay the amount to the seller as such. Simultaneously, if seller is not able to give the shipment of goods and all on the according to the contract basis and all, so buyer is the one, the clearing corporation is the one who is going to perform the contract as such. So whereas risk, there is high counterparty risk, because if any one of the party fails to perform, the other party will be in high risk, isn't it? Whereas in future contract it is like it's low counterparty risk, because very low. If any one of the party fails also, clearing corporation is the one who is going to perform the contract. So very it's almost to 0 point something percentage will be there risk. Whereas so and guarantee, no guarantee of settlement until the date of maturity. Only the forward price based on the spot price of an underlying asset is paid. There is no guarantee for settlement also, because only one and buyer and seller is there. If one of person ran off, so another party has to suffer the loss. Whereas future contract, both the parties must deposit as initial guarantee margin. The value of operation is marked to market rates with daily settlement of profit and losses. This happens, both the parties simultaneously they do the profit and losses, or simultaneously they do this. So what happens, the initial guarantee will be there of the margin, and profit and losses will be daily settled. I have explained you in my last class, mark to market. So nothing but daily settlement will be done. The difference between spot price and future price will be paid by either of the parties. If it is a profit, whoever is in the profit, he'll be paying to another profit certain margin as such. So next is contract maturity. Forward contracts generally mature by delivering the commodity, yes, whereas future contracts may not necessarily mature by delivering of a commodity as such. It takes a time because three parties will be involved, so it's not needed that they are necessarily mature on time as such. The expiry date depending on the transaction, whereas in the future contract it is standardized one. And one more thing I want to tell you over here, it's not written here. Trading place. Basically forward contracts are traded over the counter. Over the counter means only two parties will be traded. OTC trade will be named as, here it's not there, it's OTC trade. OTC trade means they are traded on over the counter, whereas future exchanges are traded on certain specified recognized exchanges like NSE, BSE and all in India. In international stock markets like New York Stock Exchange, Chicago Stock Exchange, like that, they are standardized one. Clearing corporation will be there, as I said. National Securities Depository Securities Limited one is there, who will be looking after as a clearing corporation and will be doing these daily settlements as such. So here in nature of settlement, um, only on the date of maturity takes place. A forward contract may be settled by physical delivery of an asset, or in a future contract daily settlement will be taken through mark to market process, what I have just said you. Whereas the probability of premature closure in forward contract is no, because premature it is no chances, because only on delivery date the time will be there, whereas in future contract it is have a fair chance of having the premature closure. Whereas the size of the contract, one of the difference, depends on how big size the transaction and what are the requirements of the transaction is. Whereas on a future contract it is a standardized one, so risk is like risk is low as such in future contract. Contract size depends on how big the transaction and the requirements of the contracting party is, whereas in future contract it is standardized as such. Market, primary and secondary markets will be taken place in forward contract, whereas in future contract only primary markets will take into picture. So these are the different types of these are the differences between forward contract and future contract. Let me tell you more points if at all I have. One more point what I can tell you is the trading. They are not traded on exchanges, they are traded on over the counter, whereas future exchanges are traded over the on the exchange traded derivatives only. Whereas liquidity in forward contract, the liquidity is very poor, because contracts are tailor made, only buyer and seller will be there, so exchange of money and all will be very less, only the on the maturity date that transaction takes place. Whereas future contracts, as they are daily settled on a mark to market basis according to the profit and losses of the buyer and the seller, so liquidity is very high, and contracts are standardized one. Okay, and they are traded on exchanges. Regarding the price delivery, another point is price delivery. Whereas in forward contract the prices are very poor, and as markets are fragmented, whereas in future contracts they are better, as they are traded on transparent exchanges, means they are traded on certain specified exchanges, so that everything will be clear and specified as such. So these are some of the points that are needs to be disclosed. Let's check out the another things, advantages and disadvantages and forward contract and all. No upfront fees, no risk due to currency fluctuation, completely eliminated. Forwards are over the counter products, as I said you. It offers a complete hedge. The use of forward provide price protection, they are easy to understand. Whereas disadvantages are default risk will be more because only two parties are there. Contracts may be difficult to cancel because only two parties will be there. Difficulty will be there either of the party to cancel the contract. They may be difficult to find a counterparty. It requires tying up capital. There is no intermediate cash flows before settlement. So these are some of the points need to be looked after. So I hope I made it clear to all of you the difference between the forward contract and future contract. One more topic is left in the your third unit is hedging. So that most probably I'm going to show you in my next class, this hedging part. So what I'm going to do is now wind up the class, guys. See all of you guys. Bye all of you.